Welcome to another episode on our channel. As you know, I've been working on Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, doing a custom of him since he costs so much. If you look on eBay nowadays, you'll look and find him priced at $400, easily $400 minimum, all the way up to about $1,300, maybe more. So there's no way I'm going to pay those kinds of prices. So it's customizing that's going to be my thing to do. So he's one of my favorite characters from The Walking Dead. The other one is Carol Peletier. So I'm going to work on getting her together in clothing. In the last episode on Daryl, we got him in clothing, and we'll eventually do his accessorizing soon. After we do Carol's clothing, we'll have another episode of the accessorizing part. But let me show you what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with a body that I can get fairly reasonably priced. It's basically half plastic and half silicone. So, and it's jointed, so you can see the joints. But I'm intending to fully clothe her. So there's no use or no need to use a TB League Fison body that costs more, that's seamless, because I'm not going to show any joints. It's going to be fully clothed. This one is plastic, like I said, shows the joints, but on certain parts of the body, you're going to see some silicone around the neck, definitely, the breast, the midriff, the lower section, the back, the buttocks. That's going to be silicone. That's going to create a challenge whenever you're using a silicone body in terms of getting clothes on, because whenever you try to put clothes on it, you're going to run into some resistance when you come into contact with the silicone. So hopefully this will go well. It just takes a little patience on your end to get the clothing on right. The one thing you don't want to do is put the head on before you put the clothing on. This usually takes hot water, and it is hard to get certain pieces of clothing over the head because the hole's not large enough. So it doesn't make any sense to put the head on if you're going to use clothing that doesn't zip up, or it doesn't tie together or button up nicely. So clothe it first, put the head on. If this size doesn't work, I'll switch over to a seamless TB League Fison body. Those are twice, sometimes 3 times the cost of this body. Most of the time, 3 times the cost of this body. I know where you can get TB League Fison bodies without hands and feet, because I have tons of hands and feet for $59.99. But I also know where you can get a TB League Fison body for $59.99 with hands and feet. You just have to know where to go. Most of the time, they're going to a TB League, a seamless body. Most of the time, they're going to cost you $75, $80, $90 is not unreasonable to see these things priced there. So these are definitely more economically priced. So we'll pause and get set up with the clothing part. We are back. I'm ready to start dressing her. The one thing I want you to keep in mind, though, is that periodically, with silicone anyway, there's going to be lint, fur, if you have fur babies, flying around and getting caught on the body. If you put some clothes on, take them off, there may be some stray strings sticking to the body. So you're going to need some tape to get that stuff off. She's good to go now, it looks like. So the first thing I typically do is I put on the pants. Now this pair of pants has elastic at the top. I'm not going to have any problems getting it over the legs, but when I get to the silicone part, I'm going to have some problems, but not as much as I will with the shirt. So, and getting it over the back of the the buttocks is going to be the most challenging thing. So you're just going to have to pull, tug, pull a little bit more, tug a little bit more, and eventually it's going to go on and it's going to look pretty darn good. There we go. There she is. So we've got the pants on. The next thing is the shirt. I thought about keeping her all in brown. This actually does match pretty good, the pants. But then I thought black. This has a more rugged look, so this might work better with her. I could also go with a more of a shirt look. This is more form-fitting, so it's going to be definitely more difficult getting this shirt onto the body. Another thing, again, the tape comes in handy with is that sometimes you get fur and stuff on the clothes too. So I think I'm going to go with this more rugged shirt / skirt kind of combo. I think it will look good on her. I could change my mind later on. And I do want to put a jacket on her as well. So this will cover the arms. A jacket will cover the joints here. So I think I'll be okay. I don't have the jacket yet. Haven't decided what jacket to use, but I hopefully will by the time I get done with this episode. If not, certainly in the next episode, I'll have an option there. So now I just have to find where is the front of this outfit. And it looks like this is the front part. So what I generally do is put the arms in the back, making sure I've got the joints in the right direction, which is inward. Either that or kind of above the head. So in the back or above, find the front part, place this over the arms. Again, you don't want the head on first because the head is not going to fit over this hole here where the head, where it goes over the neck, I should say. So it looks like I can take this part, go over the neck, and keep tugging, tug, tug, tug. Make sure that the hands go through, or the wrist pegs go through where they need to go through. Tug, tug, tug. Cool. And let's see if we can get this baby on. It's getting close. Now I'm getting to where the hole is for the neck and getting that through the neck part. Now I'm going to pull and tug again. Don't overly pull. You don't want to tear anything. But the reason why this shirt is kind of cool, longer shirt, is because it's very rough looking, just like Daryl's shirt was when I cut the sleeves off. Very rough looking. All right, so we can put the folded arms here. And eventually I will cover this with the jacket. So far, I've got the shirt and the pants on. The next thing will be actually the boots. Now, I could put feet on, but I tend to prefer not to have to actually get the foot into the boot or the peg into the boot. Sometimes I just put the end of the foot into the boot and just, let gravity do its thing. So we'll pause now. I'll get the boots on and we'll be right back. So I'm going through some transitions in my head about what to do with her. I definitely don't want the joints showing. I was thinking of using a jacket, but then I thought maybe I'll use a cape. And if I use a cape, I'm going to put something over the joints, like, I don't know if you can see this very nicely, but this is like the kind of a legging that I've cut off, leotard's legging, very end. I've just cut off the piece there. You can take a sock, you can cut that, and that can kind of go over the arm joint. So I'm going to cover the joints of the arms, probably use a cape actually with Carol. I've got the boots on, but the other thing I noticed is with this particular shirt, it doesn't do her any favors. If I put my hand behind it, she doesn't look shapely. I want her to look a bit more shapely, if you see what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pinch it on one side in the back and pinch another side in the back, and then I'm just going to sew it together with one piece of thread, just so that she looks definitely more shapely. So we're going to pause again. I'm going to do that, and then try to figure out which one. Am I going to use the lower part of a legging to put around the joint, or a sock? Cut it and put it over the joint so it's hidden. Because I think I'm going to go with a cape with her. So anyway, we'll be right back after I do this in the back of her shirt / kind of skirt. All right, we'll be right back. We are back, and I've got the boots on, and I think you can see now that she is definitely more shapely with the pinching back here, just a little tiny string or sewing thread to keep it in place. I think that looks a lot better. Now, I'm thinking of using a cape with her. If I'm going to use a cape, that means I either cover up the elbows or I use a different shirt that has full sleeves. Haven't decided what to do yet, but if I'm going to use the jointed body, I want to cover the joints. Now I have the bottom of leggings, form-fitting elastic-like leotards leggings that basically are less circumference at the top and wider at the bottom. I don't really want to use these. This would be more for a male whose muscles get bigger towards, and so the stretch is a bit better in certain places. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a sock instead. So this stays straighter. And I think it's going to look better on the joint. Each joint. I have 2 socks. So we will pause. I will cut the socks. So I have definitely a more uniform look in terms of what goes around the joint. So we'll be right back. So you can see this is a tighter look than it would be with the flared out leggings. This is nice and tight. So to me, it looks better. So the next thing to do is kind of put on the cape. Actually, the scarf is the next thing. So let me pause and do that. I know we're doing a lot of pausing, but I just want to do this in stages so you can kind of see, the process that I go through in my head anyway. So we'll be right back. So here she is. with the scarf on, the shapely shirt, the pants, the boots. The cape is next. We'll pause and get that on, and then the head. And if this doesn't work, in terms of color tone, with the arms being a little too bright compared to the head, I can tone it down with paint, or I can use the full shirt, or I can use a TB League Bison body. But all I'm going to do today is clothe her, and if I decide to make changes, I will show you the changes in the next episode. And then we will, in the next episode as well, accessorize her. So I think we're going to get pretty close to getting done, at least with the clothing part today, unless I make some more changes or transitions in my head. So we'll pause now and we'll get the cape on. We are back, and I still haven't brought closure in my head to what's going on with her, but so far she looks great. I'm not going to use the brown shirt. It would be too much brown, even though this brown does match the pants. I didn't show you this before, but I had a tank top. I could have used black. Actually, maybe between gray and black. Could have used that. I could have used these lighter brown things for her to cover her joints. But the reality is, if I'm going to keep her in this particular shirt, if I didn't use the black sock wraps around her joint, I would use the same material I used for the scarf and for the hands to go around the arms. So that's a possibility. That's a strong possibility. The other possibility is to use this black shirt instead of the more torn up shirt that she has on. So I'm still thinking, still deciding, but I like what I see so far. The cape it was a last second thing, and I think it's just going to work wonderfully. It has a kind of a darker color on the inside, but it has that wonderful brown that matches the pants on the outside. And we haven't even accessorized her yet. So with all that, I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.